Game on, everybody! Nothing left against Wind and Rain. Third place match at this point, actually. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Wind and Rain has played a fantastic tournament, to be honest, but hasn't really gotten the results that they were probably hoping for. And honestly, that I feel they deserve, because they had so many games that were so unbelievably close, but they just always felt to be on the receiving end of the punishment then towards the end. At this point, we're having Nothing Left going up against them, and as much as like Wind and Rain, Nothing Left has also played extremely well. We still have, by the way, Nothing Left with Speedwagon, so that's a little bit of a weird one, because, I mean, honestly, yesterday they played with a sub, right? So Speedwagon, Real Life Connection from Podibos played because Mopsio was apparently at a wedding. And today the plan was that they play with Mopsio, which they actually did in the first match. But then in the middle of the match, Speedwagon came in again and Mopsio didn't play. And apparently whatever the reason for that was, it continues into this series where we have Speedwagon again subbing in for him. So now we're having Chen banned out and Garrosh. We're also seeing Tracer banned against... honestly, if you're DAB, you just hate bans, don't you? You're never gonna get your Tracer. Li Ming sometimes is available, but she's oftentimes banned out against him too. It honestly feels a little bit bad for the guy. So, yeah. Let's see what else is going to happen now. The Chen ban doesn't really surprise against the setup here. Max Passion in particular has been locking it down 2 times now as a first pick. Bakul gets his Tyrael though. It's pretty good for him. And yeah. I would honestly assume that Nothing Left goes into ETC or Johanna again. Those seem to be the 2 heroes that Speedwagon is playing these days. So we'll see what happens with that. But they're prioritizing Tyrande and Hanzo. And we finally get a Make Mephisto. The same way that DAB hates that Tracer gets banned out against him the entire time, I feel the same way Make thinks about the Mephisto bans against him that continuously keep dropping here. So for the first time in what feels like ages, he gets the Mephisto play. The funny thing to me is that Make is pretty much the only Mephisto player at Division S. Farlander played it a little bit, but moved away from it again. And Make is the only one that continuously drops Mephisto whenever he gets a chance and is successful with it. But yeah, the respect bans against him were true so far, and in this case, Mephisto is making it through the draft into their hands. Jaina gets banned out now, interestingly enough, since that would be additional burst damage over sustained damage, so Jaina gets banned. And for me personally, it's also a question of what Wind and Rain plays, because I could totally see them now heading into something along the lines of a double melee, one of them being Thrall and then another one next to them, together with Tyrael, to just shield Mephisto the entire time and get a bit of crash lightning damage in through Thrall and having a solo laner on top of that. Maybe even a Blaze for the bunker and sanctification place to keep everyone alive there. They ban out ETC, so they're targeting Speedwagon a little bit, which personally I think means that we're going to get Johanna here. But we haven't really seen too many games of him yet, so that might be too early a judgment. Well, he goes into Nubarak again. Now, the reason why that surprises me a little bit is he played a Nubarak yesterday, and you might have realized I didn't list the Nubarak when I talked about the heroes that he mainly plays, Johanna, ETC, for example. And the reason is that Anubarak, I feel, was one of the heroes where he was less impactful. Yesterday in the games where he played the bug, it didn't really feel like it worked well for them. Maybe that was just against the opponents they played against. I feel it was the series against Washed Up, and they are now in the grand final, so obviously they are a total different beast. But yeah, let's see what he can perform here, how he can perform here with the Nubarak. We get the double melee, as I expected, but we don't get Thrall. So instead we have Imperius now, and a Leoric. And Imperius, as we've seen in the previous series, has insane damage output now, if you play him correctly. There was a bit of a change for him as well in the last patch, addressing Molten Armor in particular. So Imperius looking quite powerful now and having a huge splash also in the meta. Not to the Chen extent, not getting me wrong. But still. And we get Sonya. She was changed as well. We have Sonya in the game. Well, it's been a while. Alright, welcome back. Eminem of Heroes of the Storm. Volskaya Foundry. And we are heading into game number 1 of the best of 5 series here at the 3rd place decider. Game number 1, nothing left with Sonya. Poryboss playing her. She got the Vala treatment, more HP, and also on top of that, got an increase in her health regeneration. Let's find out if that's going to be enough to bring her back into the meta. Blakitne on Maiev, linked on Tyrande, Speedwagon on Nuburak, and DAB on Hanzo. Over to the right side of the map, Wind and Rain, as expected, with a triple front line. Skok on Imperius, Backhold on Tyrael, and Max Payne on Leoric. All of them to protect Maka on Mephisto and Galnegulnar on Malfurion. And let's not kid ourselves, especially Imperius can pack a punch. That guy really does a ton of damage here. So let's see if they're able to pull that off now. For the time being, no talent. There we go. Alright, Furious Spark, Lightning Nova damage once again for him. Also, Nuburak, in this case, going into the Regeneration Master. That's something that we actually missed yesterday a couple of times. It was very surprising to see him not take the talent when they were playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, since this is obviously a guaranteed 500 HP that you have there. But I'm interested in Sonya. Sonya is the one that really interests me the most at this point, and she went for tough as nails on the level 1 here. Having a bit of an aggression up to the top lane. Blakitne is already just like running slaloms here. Dancing around all the roots on the ground, all of the lunges that we're seeing from Imperius, and attempting to get away from this one. Bit of an attack there, straight in the middle. And the shields are now coming out too. And Marke must be happy at this point. This is the map where he actually played Mephisto for the first time to bring the hero into the meta, at least into their meta. And yeah, finally he is able to play the hero again. That is important. It's honestly so crazy to me that you just have some teams that have one player on a certain hero that gets so respected that they just ban it out the entire time against them. You talk about washed up and teams are just banning that Sergeant Hammer over and over and over again. You're talking about nothing left and DAB just doesn't get his Tracer. Maka usually doesn't get his Mephisto. And the trends, or these trends, just continue across the board, so it's pretty awesome to see when they finally are able to play that particular hero. And in this case, we're gonna find out if it's going to work for Wind and Rain. Already, after the turrets have been taken at the 1 minute mark, we're seeing the rotation straight towards the healing beacon. That's where the teams are obviously now trying to make their play as well. The interesting part, honestly, later on will also be that it's a best of 7. The grand final is actually a best of 7, so that is going to make for a lot of action there. Well, for now, a standard build with a Sovereign Armor for Imperius. I should say standard build after the changes, after the recent patch, since previously, obviously, there was a focus into the Jade Talents. And a noob got wrecked. So, well, with that, we're now all of a sudden seeing the first kill on the board for Wind and Rain. And that's the first Mephisto kill too. I bet you one thing, if Mephisto actually wins the game for them, we are going to see him just stand out the entire time throughout this series again. And they're just like, alright, we tried it, we gave it a shot, it's not working out. The root a little bit late from Malfurion, or DAB might have fallen here as well. So yeah, with this we're having a quick hit onto the healing beacon. And a slight lead in experience, of course, the early level 7. Would be great for them if they can get that around the objectives and they have a bit of a lead there, up to the point where nothing left is grabbing the talent for themselves. But so far we're still sitting on level 6 quite comfortably for both of them. Camp taken by Maiev, who's going to head back here. Again, Nuburak being attacked. And this is obviously one of the plays that you can make if you are Wind and Rain. You can try and abuse Speedwagon a bit. No matter how well he plays, there will be a bit of a lack of synergy with the rest of the team, just simply because they don't have as much practice together as other teams do. So that's something that you can try and attempt to punish a little bit. Poryboss already the spin to win. Yeah, trying to get some extra damage out there. So far, I mean, the biggest thing about Sonya is really the sustainability that she usually has. In this case, we're actually getting Hurricane as well. So you get the cooldown reduction and you get the slow remove, which is important against Malfurion and also against Leo with a swing. But generally speaking, the whole idea of having Sonya, and one of the reasons why she was so powerful on the Infernal Shrines, and kinda is now on Volskaya, if you believe that she makes her way back into the meta, is simply that she has an incredible amount of self-sustainability and can be super annoying and just whirl away there. Protector is already taken though, and that attempt at getting a turret is not really working out the way that Nothing Left was envisioning. That instead of grabbing the turret, they're actually losing heroes now. Sonya gets a kill though, and spins out! What? Look at you, girl. Alrighty. So, it's 1 kill against 2. The item got stolen away as well. And now they are finally starting to put some pressure on the structures themselves as the Protector moves into the middle to destroy the wall there. But Sonya is actually doing a thing. Top lane is where we're headed at this point. We're having also the live funnel currently claimed from Sonya on level 7. So, trying to get even more out of this. There aren't really that many interrupts against her. Let's be honest for a second. There's Imperius and that's it. So outside of Imperius, nobody's going to be able to stop you and interrupt you there. So that's a big deal. But yeah, that fountain is still in play. They got the kills. They have nearly level 9 now. But honestly, I want to see Sonya just do some work here. That would be absolutely awesome if Podipos could bring that back. It would be kind of great. It's a little bit weird, but yeah. Also, by the way, I have to say that again, some people were probably a little bit weirded out by my earlier comment in the draft, but if you've never seen that, take a closer look at the portrait of Sonya, and you will definitely see that Sonya just looks like Eminem with a wig. It's pretty much it. Don't believe me? Google. It's exactly the same thing. It's Eminem with a wig. And Blizzard is just sneaking that in. My personal theory is that whoever designed Sonya is just a secret Eminem fan and has been thinking about how he can sneak that somehow into the game, and instead of talking about mom's spaghetti, he instead just went straight in and said, like, you know what? What if I make one of the portraits look like him? Nobody will ever know. But then Khaldor came in. And they don't call me Sherlock Khaldor for no reason. Nope. So, yeah. Level 10 abilities are ready. And this time we get armament over Wrath. So, yeah, here comes the quick rotation towards the healing camp. Obviously, with level 10, you want to get something out of that little advantage. This is what Heroes of the Storm is all about. You work for small advantages and you try to capitalize on them. And that's exactly what they're doing here right now. In comes the 10 versus 10, and Sonya again with the Wrath of the Berserker. The cage for Maiev, our little cage fighter here. She's been a little bit of a mixed martial arts champion. Full on MMA from Blikidny. If you drop the cage, it's battle time. And in this case, Vault of the Wardens jumping out of this one. Alright, so turrets are still taken all over the place, and obviously what's the goal if you're going for objective number 2? Destroy your opponent's fountain. Exactly. You guys just gained 100 points and you won as many washing machines as you can carry up 3 flights of stairs. So, DAP currently still holding the experience here. It's 3 kills against 1, and the one thing you want to avoid now is your opponent gets a talent advantage over the next objective, especially when we're talking at level 13. And yeah, that 13 could be actually becoming a reality. With 30 seconds on the timer right now, level 12 already reached, you can definitely get that. So that's definitely an option for them. But we have 1 healing beacon, 2 healing beacons, 1 turret. Does Leo already have 1? I think he has 1 too, no? No, Max Passion didn't get a healing beacon. He said like, dude, your main account is silenced, you don't get one, we don't trust you. I understand that, I understand that. That's something I can completely understand. So, with the double healing beacon then on the other hand, control point is gonna unlock soonish, and that should give them a big lead. Speedwagon is trying to take over. Just joking, bro. You're not gonna have enough good time there. Make with the damage output now. Obviously went to level 4 into the static barrier as well. Getting his little shield here, and then trickery. More movement speed. Okay. Down to the bottom, there's another camp popping up, so they want to have more turrets. Max Payne wants to play as well. And he said like, well, I might be silenced, but I still want to have my turret. And the team is like, alright. If you're a good boy now, then we're going to give you a turret too. But make sure that you drop it before you die and activate your trait value. And he's like, alright. Divine Rage, and there's a 13, so they're going to get the access. Without the Sword of Justice also being used. Having the Ominous Wraith. And the missile on level 13. Mephisto starting to move straight to the top as the rest of the blue team is moving into the middle. And I just want to see a team fight. Screw rotations. Come on, baby. I want to see that legendary aggression right now. Especially I want to see Sonya in action. We need Sonya. Spin to win. The biggest question that we always had, by the way, was if an Australian Sonya spins the other way. It was answered when we had Arcana join HGC, and the answer was surprising. No. So maybe it was because Arcana, when he was spinning as Sonya, was also in Europe. So maybe the Australian Sonya has to be played from Australia. We don't really know, but it was an interesting question to begin with. And here's the spin to win the cage on the ground and the kill. Sonya gets the kill against Malfurion, the counter kill against the Nubarak, and they're trying to get more, and Blink Kidney falls. Blink Kidney down, obviously those healing beacons, absolutely insane, and Boss is still spinning, and he gets another kill. Sonya for the win. They lose to Randa, but Sonya is still there, and as long as they have Sonya, they have hope. The problem is the Protector was now taken too. And that's when Sonya just says, alright, enough is enough. I'm okay going 1v5, that's cool guys. I went to Alex the Pro G's Snail School, so I know exactly how to play a 1 versus 5. That's like the least of my problems. I 1v9 usually. But once that your Protector is in play, I am done with that shit. No. Have you seen that monster? It's a fucking robot with lasers and shit. I'm not gonna go up against that bastard, so instead she rotates bot lane where she has to deal with a skeleton again. That's Sonya's preferred place to be. So, after the fort at the top lane has fallen, they're starting to go straight into the mid lane here. And they might actually be able to get this one. First of all, they're pushing Nubarak out. And Nubarak went into the mandibles. The acid-drenched ones. That's important. On level 13. And Sonya into the no escape. Everybody is adding movement speed talents these days. Don't you guys know that we just got 10% movement speed across the board? 6 kills against 3, and Wind and Rain is looking at a level 16 talent, and yeah, on fire here again. Just wait for the late game when they're gonna get wrecked. I mean, I don't want to be mean, and it's not like they're throwing the games in the late game, but doesn't it feel a little bit like every single time this heads into the late game, they're all of a sudden getting outplayed? Blink it there! Oh, the fountain! Oh, Leo goes down. Blink Kidney actually wins that little battle. There's a 16 talent now with the Animosity taken. And in addition to that, as we're talking about Imperius the entire time, we have the Valorous Pursuit once again. And they are just fully going, but Link is on the run, the cage on the ground, Sanctification! And Malf is down, but so is Tyrande. And Sonya is full in their element. No stuns, no problem! And Nubarak is dead, and well, they're just going for the full spin to win here. And you actually see Tyrael fall. Pretty boss. And if he didn't die, then he still spins somewhere on the map. He's literally 1v3ing right now. Finally, Sonya has fallen. Alright. Eminem has left the stage. 10 kills against 6, 4 kills against 2 in the last encounter. And now it's time for more items. That's exactly what they're gonna go for here. So yeah, it's party time. At this point, they get one. They can easily get the one on the right side too. DAB is saying hi for just a second. But now we have at least the epicenter taken. We have also the Nerves of Steel. And, well, what's the damage output? Come on, Sonya. Don't disappoint me. 40,000! Yeah, I'll take that. Ooh. Someone really wants that turret. And DAB gets that turret. Leo the entire time was just sitting there and was saying like, there's no way that guy kills me. I don't have to drop the turret. There's no way he kills me. There is no... Fuck! That's exactly the conversation that Max Passion had. And the team was like, we knew we shouldn't trust you with the turret. We knew it would happen. And DAB was just looking at this and was like, I want this thing. So yeah, he gets it. Bottom gets currently racked, so that fountain is down. Third objective is prepared. And with that, we're having the Cocoon to force the fight. They want Tyrael, and I think they're going to get Tyrael. Can they get the stun? 1, 2, 3, and holy cow. Tyrael just got massacred. And Sonya's going in again. Sonya wants the top damage here, but I think eventually Hanzo is going to take over. So, yeah. Things are starting to even out a little bit more. There is still an advantage for Wind and Rain, especially since they took down 2 of the forts. But in terms of experience, they're only slightly ahead. The kill count is also just barely in their favor. And the objective is getting unlocked in a moment. So, yeah, things are starting to change slightly. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yeah. Every single Wind and Rain game over the last 2 days. Exactly. So, all of a sudden, now that we're having the Nerves of Steel and the Epicenter, there's a bit of a different story. The Cocoon engage was definitely a nice one as well. And, yeah. There's the attack against the Fountain. They want to take that down too. And Nubarak is helping. Beatles! He's spawning beetles now. And they're gonna get that fort, aren't they? The only play that Wind and Rain is making right now is they want to have 20. That's pretty much what they are trying to do here. They're trying to get an advantage, but they're losing the bottom fort now. So that's at least a bit of something. They have to fight. They can't wait for 20. They're not going to get that in time. At least not if someone stays on that point, which is exactly what they do. Alright, and Uberak is sitting there. We're having everyone else rotating in around, and Rube is a little bit lost on the left side, but he gets Leoric, and now they're trying to go for the fight here. Both of the teams lack the fountain at this point, but at least there's a fallback option if they want to move back. 76%. Boss still on it. They have to win the fight. Wind and Rain, that is. But if nothing left takes it, they might be able to get the earlier 20. Cage and Tomb on the ground. Items already getting dropped. There's the objective, and Boss goes straight in, and Nubarak dies, but there is a protector now. Question is only, can they get a kill? Yep, we also have Maiev still in the protector. They're trying to go for Link. Protector with the damage, trying to go for some kind of counter-aggression. Can they get anything with that thing now? 20 is nearly there for Wind and Rain. They have that lead, and they have the top lane pushing too. That Protector's trying to do whatever it can, but it feels like this thing is not going to achieve anything. Now, again, it's not really wasted. Obviously, you would have loved to do a bit of damage and maybe take the bottom key, but let's be honest here for just a moment. Nothing left, at least denied the Protector to their opponent, which now also means that Wind and Rain can't push for a keep themselves. But yeah, they still have to get out of this one. And with the Buried Alive, not happening. That's a nice tool also, getting the healing beacon there, so that didn't work out. And you kind of should have known that this was coming, let's be honest here. I mean, that Buried Alive was pretty much announced. It wasn't, like, not only did they send them a notification, they sent them an email, they sent them a letter, and then they sent the guy on horseback to just ride across the country and just deliver the letter in person and tell them, listen boys, once that this is over, we're gonna bury alive you. And yeah, apparently that wasn't really respected, so Wind and Rain is able to get that kill. 12 kills against 8, massive item advantage now, and I have no idea why you would fight there if you're the blue team. Are they drunk? The fuck are they doing? Why would you even get close to a fight? You are down a hero and you are down a storm talent. Why? Please tell me why. The fuck just happened? Tyrande and Anubarak are both dead for no reason whatsoever. And instead of having a fight over the fourth objective, yes, with a disadvantage in items, but still a fight on even talents, they are now most likely going to lose the game here. Or at least going to lose another keep, like one of the two. Did I miss something? Like, a serious question, is there like a spell that I don't know about that teleports a hero straight into attack range that I haven't really seen? Is there anything that honestly, I feel I missed something. Why do they have to force a fight? There's no Wrath here. And all of a sudden, we are having a massive, massive problem. I mean, Boss is isolated now too. He can spin and win all day long. They might hold this for now, guys. Guys, they might actually hold this. Yeah, Maiev is down. That's a staggered death. But they're all low. They are all low. They are holding this for now. But holy hell, why would you put yourself in the position in the first place? Sonya, honestly, is keeping them alive now. Max Payne dies, but Leo is going to be back a little bit faster. Here comes the attack. They're actually getting a couple of kills. Nothing left is not done yet. It's unbelievable. But why they would put themselves into this position in the first place is anyone's guess. They try and go for Marker right now. Porty again with the spears, with the spin to win. I can't believe that they are still alive. I cannot believe that they're getting kills here. Skork goes down, and that's 2 kills at this point. What a game. What a game! That's... I mean, they have the 20 now. With this, we're seeing Ignore Pain. We're having the rewind too. But this is all over the place. What is happening here? 15 kills against 10. We are 18, 19 minutes into this, and now the control point unlocks in a couple of seconds with Imperius down. Leo is back up with the Entomb. But damn, DAB hasn't died, by the way. DAB is on 0 deaths. So is Maka. Both of them. Honestly, that was insane. That entire situation was insane. Them sacrificing 2 heroes was crazy. Then they hold the core. Effortlessly, as it seems. Speedwagon, by the way, has still not completed his level 1 quest. That's a bit of a meme. 19.5 minutes in. Come on, boys. Someone kill a couple of minions for him. He needs those 500 HP. At this point, honestly, just go on 2 lanes and get those globes. Seriously, it's 500 hit points, dude. There! There! Take them! Alright. Who needs hit points? And, well, take it, please! Okay, there go. Oh, the arrow! Oh, the sanctification! They're trying to go for the tether against Skog, but they can't get it. The molten armor is in, and the Nuburak is dead. That's where those 500 hit points would have come in pretty handily. And once again, the play, they're straight going in, and Mephisto is wrecking them. Healing beacon, Sonya's dead though, gets immediately dropped. Link is dying too, 4 down. It's a 5-man team wipe as Wind and Rain obliterates nothing left in the last and final fight of this game before they move on to the core. 20 kills against 10 now, as they are starting to go straight in for the core to finish what they started. Game number 1 ending up with a victory for Wind and Rain against nothing left. They take the lead. And they're going to look pretty good going into the next one of the series, but it's still a bit of a close call. Look at that damage on the other hand. 105,000 for Hanzo, pretty solid. 74k for Mephisto, the only one to never die here. GG, and well played as Wind and Rain take the lead. Wind and Rain has actually won a game. They have finally taken one, and that game was really weird towards the end. Apparently, Nuburak is allergic to regeneration globes. That's something that I learned that I didn't know before. Stitches called and wanted to teach him a little bit about how to take globes properly, since Stitches needs 60 to complete all of the quest rewards. Well, or at least like get the speed bonus that you want there, and Nuburak with those 28 just walked past 4 globes. But as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity, I personally would expect still a little bit more action. I mean, it's a brawly map as well. So nothing left against Wind and Rain. Map number 2. And what are we going to get now? I want to see a couple of power plays at this point. Okay. Let's see what we're having there. For now, it's actually a little bit of a delayed ban. Nothing left seems a little bit indecisive at this point. This is one of the slowest first bans that I have seen in a long time. So I'm not quite sure what exactly they're discussing at this point. But still, there's the Garrosh ban. Okay, fair enough. I would be more concerned about Tyrael, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like the approach of Washed Up, where they just banned Tyrael out against Backhold the entire time. It was probably, if you want to target the front line, was probably a good play. Then again, this is also a soft ban strategy against any Zarya shenanigans with the speed bubble on level 4. ETC gets quickly banned too, which is more so a hero that I personally would have expected for nothing left, since Speedwagon has played ETC a couple of times. Tracer gets banned. Do you ban Li Ming? No, they ban Hanzo, so we could actually see a Li Ming first pick here. Li Ming as a first pick, Tyrande as a first pick. There's a couple now. Chen, if you want to play Chen. Chen hasn't been banned, and we know that Wind and Rain pretty much locks Chen in whenever they get a chance in the first rotation. So if you don't ban the hero out, you have to pick it. Interestingly enough, Speedwagon picks him right now. That's usually an offlane hero. So either they swap later, or he actually plays this in a main tank position, or they have all of a sudden decided to put Speedwagon into the offlane and run someone else in the main tank. So Li Ming gets picked immediately by Macke. Doesn't shock anybody who knows anything about Macke and the priority picks that he has, especially on BoE. And Backhold gets Tyrael. I mean, like, we've been talking about this Tyrael so much, and there's a reason why Washed Up banned it out all the time. So now that instead Garrosh and ETC are banned out, he just picks Tyrael automatically. And with that, there's our Tyrande. And Muradin, okay, so apparently Podobos on Muradin. A little bit of Muradin action. Candy Muradin, the creepiest skin in the game, by far. It's honestly a little bit disturbing. It's one of the... I talked about this yesterday. It's one of the skins that disturbs me the most. The only thing that they have to really bring into play to make Muradin with the Candy Muradin skin completely unacceptable is the new mount for Candy King Muradin. The windowless van with the tear-stained mattress in the back. It's creepy as fuck, especially if you have a Lily on the other side. Wanna have some candy? I'm just like, Jesus, Blizzard, please, come on, calm down, calm down. Hidden messages there. Vala getting taken out again. I honestly hate that my girl went from not being played at all, with the exception of Granite Gaming, to being banned on those maps. Put her in the middle somewhere. But yeah, she got obviously buffed in the last patch a little bit, so now we're having a setup in which she is actually very, very powerful on Battlefield of Eternity. Other maps too. Genji gets banned out, and let's see. What do we have? Greymane is still up. Oh, Lulcio! Alright, boys. Lulcio is in the house. Okay. Alright, alright. Apparently against the Panda. That might not be a dumb idea, to be honest, now that I think about it. Panda goes into the triple, drop the sound barrier. That sounds like a good idea. The one thing that I'm still missing is, I personally think we're going to see Greymane, but I might be wrong. Greymane has been so amazing lately after the patch, and well, there's Jaina for DAB, and Greymane! Blake Kidney. Alright, so what do we have as a last pick now that those are already taken? We need a little bit more damage. I'm gonna go for an auto tagger here. I wonder if they would they consider going into another melee here as well and have Maka as the only range damage dealer? That's another question. They really lean towards triple melee setups, and yes, they do. Milaiki, Thrall can go into Crash Lightning now that we have Urel on the off lane, so that's going to be a nice setup. And with us, ladies, we're going into game number 2, Wind and Rain, again with the triple melee, this time against the Greymane Chen setup. So let's make it happen. Game number 2. Game on! Nothing left, relying on the Panda power in game number 2. Polyboss on Chen. They switched it over, so Speedwagon is again on the main tank position with Muradin. DAB trying to follow up on the stuns with Jaina's burst. Blikidney with Greymane and linked on Tyrande. And over to the right side of the map, the attempt to use the sound barrier against the Chen ult, I would assume, as Skok is heading into Thrall and Galnugulna into Lucio. We actually saw in a couple of Lucio games. The Russians actually played him on Sky Temple with a lot of success. I like that strategy quite a bit, despite the fact that normally I'm not the biggest Lucio fans. But depending on the comp that your opponent plays or the strategy that you are trying to execute, he can actually add a lot of value and be a pretty fantastic pick. Now, the one thing that we don't have to point out, I think, is that Li Ming is a fantastic pick no matter what, especially when you're playing on Battlefield of Eternity. Maka already going straight into the power hungry. I would still expect him to not go into dominance. He feels like he shifts away from this quite a bit. Max Payne, aka Max Passion on Urel, and Backhold on Tyrael. Again, with the justice for all right there. Interesting part is definitely going to be Thrall. Now that we're having Urel in the mix and she's already going towards the top lane, Thrall can safely head into Crash Lightning, which is what he does, and therefore attempt to get the damage out through the poke, especially during the Immortal phase. And that obviously is getting his damage in pretty easily. One way or another, at this point, we're having the lead for Wind and Rain in the best of 5 series. The grand final, best of 7, that's already going to be exciting. But as we are looking into game number 2, we have a bit of a focus towards the top lane. Max Payne is taking it very safe. Ponyboss with the White War Master Chen, great. But there is the attack against DAB, and that honestly should be a kill. Yep, there's already the speed up. Polyboss is trying to come in as well. DAB, honestly, he is juking everything. I mean, what the fuck? DAB, what the hell is happening? Wow. DAB jukes everything. The Juke Master 2000, and instead of falling, they get 2 kills. That is nasty. Great job. Really well done by them. They all rotate over, both teams do, but even with the speed, thanks to Tyrael and Lucio, they're not able to chase DAB down. He is too nimble, he is too swift, he is just too damn good. So they are able to make it happen, and now we're having Urel fall at the top as well, as Greymane is just going straight for the goat. Can someone blame him? Greymane is a wolf, Urel is a goat. I mean, you do the math, boys. Obviously, that's going to be a kill right there. But that's the 3-0 in the early stages of the game. I mean, we're not even 2 minutes into this. So, fantastic setup. Thrall has 2 stacks currently on the Crash Lightning, so at least he got that. But this entire game has been turned in favor of nothing left within seconds. Nicely done right there. So, at this point, what else do we have? We have also on the level 1 talents, the Loon's Chosen at this point. Obviously helped a lot in the last engagement that we saw there. We have the Perfect Storm straight into the Sledgehammer, so a quick move into the baseline quest that's going to be completed a couple of minutes into the game. Yeah, and this is honestly a setup that for nothing left is fantastic. You look at the experience lead and they're likely to get an early level 7 as the Immortal is on the map. We're having obviously an attempt of Wind and Rain to turn this around now. They have 4 stacks at least. Dominance again for Macke. Actually already pretty awesome. Again, this is the one talent where you occasionally see a little bit of a wraparound and variation here for the hero. But now the Immortal is announced and both of the teams are going for their own camp and the bot lane is already getting pressured. Kidney is obviously sitting here. Oh, misses the cocktail against the minion wave. Nobody saw that. Don't worry, buddy. We didn't show this. Nobody's seeing this. These are not the plays you're looking for. And yeah, with that, we have now an entire level lead nearly. But they have to be careful that their Immortal is not taken away. So the bot lane is going to pressure heavily. And in the meantime, they're starting to get their own pressure onto the top. Speedwagon still wants the Storm Bolts. Should be able to get another one there. Did he throw one out? I actually don't think he did. Should have had the cooldown ready. Linked and Pody Boss already with a halftime show, or at least the attempt to go for the halftime show. Instead, it's Wind and Rain that burns the Immortal down very quickly to 50%. But they can still make the play here. They're jumping for backroll. That's a double stun. Urel actually jumped into it. That was a bit unfortunate for her. And everybody else from Wind and Rain's side doesn't care about it because they're just simply saying, boys, let's go for the Immortal. And so far, those plays are working out. So Greymane is sent to the left side, but despite the fact that we have 3 kills against 0, Nothing Left finds himself in a defensive position, and you know who likes that situation? Thrall. That's an easy stack every single time he has the cooldown ready, because everybody's grouping around the Immortal. That's fantastic for him. He has 6 stacks right now. Kidney is moving in, and the Immortal is taken. Easily at that. Can they get at least a couple of kills? Doesn't look like it. And Thrall is sitting there and saying like, give me more stacks. I need stacks. And he has 8 already. So he's going full smoke here. And he's getting another one. 9 stacks for him. And that is not a good sign for late game chances of them. Speedwagon with a zoning Stormbolt straight into the dust here. Yeah, level 7 is going to hit a little bit quicker for Nothing Left, but they have to defend against the Immortal now. I don't really think they have a problem with that, but they're still going to lose the wall here regardless. Now they're jumping in again. They want to go for Thrall, and it doesn't work out. Thrall, 5 minutes in, is looking at 12 stacks already. This is honestly looking fantastic for him. This is looking really, really good. So at this point, things couldn't really look much better. Ancestral Wrath as well. Immortal is being taken down. In comes the Panda. Backhold on the move back. Marcus trying to flank and get some extra damage in as well. And we're having still the poke coming continuously from the red team as they're trying to take Nothing Left down. It's a 5 versus 5 at the top. And Thrall is walking away with 13 stacks 5 minutes into the game. That ain't bad. 13 stacks also, by the way, on Muradin with Sledgehammer, just to give you a little bit of a comparison here. And things are actually, I want to say that things are looking pretty okay for Wind and Rain, considering how that early game started with them trying to take Jaina down and that losing 2 heroes in the process and getting Urel dropped shortly after that as well. That is pretty impressive. They take the camp now too, and honestly, it's looking really solid. Let's have a look at the damage output now as well. We're already having the top damage on the red team being Thrall. So despite the fact that he doesn't even complete the talent yet, he's already looking at really good poke damage. Considering the amount of stacks that he got on the Trash Lightning in the early game, this is very, very powerful. Now DAB with the AoE that you have on Jaina can easily take the camp at the bottom of the map, and that's what they're doing. They obviously, thanks to the owl that was sent through from Linked, know that top side we have 4 heroes trying to go for a Khaldor camp of their own, which means that's an easy move down to the bottom of the map, taking the camp on the other side of the map without having to be afraid that someone is going to jump in and force a fight onto you. And right now, we're having still a situation in which obviously Lucio can speed up those moves a little bit across the map. And let's keep one thing in mind, the 10% movement speed, that might really not sound like a lot for some people, but especially on a map where you're trying to traverse between multiple lanes, that is shaving off a lot of seconds the bigger the map is. So this is pretty important here. But even with that and with Lucio, there's no risk of this happening. Now, what I personally really like is that we have now standard talents here, Calamity taken, the Ancestral Wrath. We have a couple of talents backing into different options lately, but this is still pretty good for them. So it keeps Thrall alive in those little battles later on. In terms of gen, we have still the elusive brawler here on level 7. That is one of the talents that has at least a little bit of wiggle room. Normally at least the level 1 and the level 4 are completely set, but we have seen Brewmaster's Balance, for example, 2 on level 7 for him. Muradin with the Give Him the Axe. And I gotta say that Muradin needs to hit a couple of more Stormbolts. I mean, so far he only has 6 stacks on the level 1. We're 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, and he only connected 6 of those. Thanks to a kill earlier and also the Sledgehammer, we're seeing him currently at 13. And there's a massive amount of pings going on the map as well. Someone's having fun here. And the Celestial Attunement obviously is going to be able to just cleanse out a couple of the stuns that are coming from the other side, especially when we're talking about the Wolves from Thrall. And those can be pretty impactful as well. All the slows here. But yeah, now the top lane pressure is there again. And with that, we're having now still 8 versus 8, but the camp is being put to good use, and that fountain is already down. That's a big part of this. So they can take the fountain down. Muradin is connecting a few more stuns now, which is, as we said, important. You want to have the quest completed quickly to get the cooldown reduction and the pierce. But now the Immortal is spawning. And despite the fact that Wind and Rain is a tiny little bit behind in experience, this is still looking really solid for them. Especially since Thrall is at 15 stacks. At this point, unless they get completely snowballed and he dies every single fight, I think there is just absolutely no reason to doubt that he's going to complete the quest and that we're actually seeing the full power of Trash Lightning. And the reason why Battlefield of Eternity, when you do not have to play the solo lane, is a fantastic map for this talent. So in comes the aggression against the Immortal. Both of the teams are actually trying to be a bit aggressive about it. But we have a camp taken exclusively from Nothing Left. Wind and Rain has let theirs go for now, but they can take it during the halftime show. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. No, not committed. Not committed to that. Instead, they're moving up to the top. But it's a defensive posture from Nothing Left. And as before, who likes that? It's Thrall. Gets another stack in, and it's going to be a cooldown game. Urel has moved down to the bottom of the map. Same for DAB. He pushed one wave out, but can now easily, of course, start to move in. They know it's a 5 versus 4 for now. 17 stacks for Thrall, and the earlier level 10 that we're currently having. Greymane is obviously on the left side, but the poke here continues. Yep, another stack for him, and the damage output, 18,000. Top damage in the game. Easily. I mean, it's not even close. And that's a level 10 on both sides. They're trying to go for Skog. Earthquake is here, and this is the sound barrier just as the Panda comes out. The immediate reaction. Panda with a triple, and then immediately a sound barrier getting dropped there too. 20 stacks for Thrall, 21 for Muradin to round it down. DAB dies as well. Can't run away from Lucio. Nope. And now with 2 heroes down, all of a sudden we're seeing Wind and Rain gaining some momentum. They're trying to burn that down, and they are able to win it. They win the Immortal, and we have 21 stacks now for Thrall, and they're even moving in further to try and get a few additional kills. Greymane is eliminated. They get more damage on the Speedwagon. Portibos is trying to jump out there, and he himself is also obliterated. 4 kills against 3 now all of a sudden, and Wind and Rain with the power plays. Moving through the bottom of the map. Thrall is sitting at a comfortable 22,000. More damage than anyone else here. More damage than Li Ming, more damage than Greymane, and still waiting for the completion of his quest talent in the first place. Obviously, the 4 doesn't stand a chance here. And with that, they are also trying to break through the wall at the keep and maybe take that down too. Especially since there's 10 seconds left on the side of Lucio. So he's going to have the sound barrier in just a few moments. And Thrall has another 20 for Earthquake, which is likely to happen during the fight. Good connects against Maki here with the Cursed Bullet and also the stun from Tyrande, but it's not enough right now. Starfall could still be used. So far, not getting dropped. Urel is now moving in from the top as well, trying to join the fight here. And they're just retreating. They go through the wall. Can't really get much more. Won't be able to get the keep. But that is a great opening of the bot lane. Muradin has this quest completed, of course, so that means that we're now seeing the cooldown reduction and the pierce, so at least for the stuns, that's going to be a huge plus. There's a lead in experience for Wind and Rain, which allows them to get the early level 13 as well. But I'm honestly worried about what happens once that score completes the quest, and he is damn close. I mean, he's really close. Jaina, on the other hand, she is struggling getting the damage in for the ice block, and that is going to become a problem as the game continues. And Max Payne at the top side is putting more and more pressure onto the fort here. There's obviously a rotation that happens towards him, but Urel is not going to have any problem coming out of this one. Chen comes in, Greymane too, but Max Payne is already going for the rotation again. Bot lane has been pushed out. Money pick action as Backhul is trying to oink oink into the game here. And Max Payne is starting to see if he can maybe go for Speedwagon and drop some damage onto him. Drops the quick ping, says, boys, by the way, there's a little dwarf running around over here, so be careful. And there's a level 13. And with that, we're now also having the Frost Wolf's Grace taken. So it gets a bit of an insta heal. Also the Sword of Justice. And another camp to be taken. At least at the bottom of the map, we're going to see some action from Nothing Left. And this is the dream. If you can go in with Greymane, but Backhul is rotating in and Blakitne is forced to move away from this one. The rotation might be a little bit slow, but Blakitne is actually completely isolated here. Can they save him? Muradin needs to connect the Stormbolt. And, well, Blakitne is alive. Thanks. Well, for a little bit. And then dies. Sanctification comes out. They're jumping in. Speed barrier, sound barrier is being used as well. And there they go. Boom. Once again, Max Payne is sitting there. Thrall is getting the stacks in once again. Can connect another one. 23 stacks for him now, and with a 5 versus 4 situation and a level 13 talent advantage on the map, we're having an easy halftime show win on the side of Wind and Rain once again. And let's not forget about the top lane. That Khazra camp, with the help of the minion wave that is now pushing in, should easily be able to take the fort down unless someone else rotates over, and so far it doesn't look like it. Immortal gets burned down quickly. He's still trying to make the play over here, but they are still missing Greymane. Greymane is coming in. Earthquake is already being used. 13 against 13 right now. Halftime show not reached yet. They're trying to make the play here, and they might get the kill against Thrall. Thrall with a Frostwolf Resilient survives, actually, and gets another couple of hits in as the Triple Panda is in full action. Halftime show is going to be won. And guess what has fallen in the meantime? Exactly, the top fort. So they're attempting to burn this down. Halftime show is reached though, and we are 4 stacks away from Thrall getting his Crash Lightning for the full damage and the priority on the hero bounce, which a lot of people totally underestimate. So yep, 27 stacks for him already. Scott is going to have a fantastic game here. He's going to end up top damage. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be, at the end of this game, the top damage for them. I mean, at this point, it's only at 33,000. That's without the prioritization. And he is going to hit this even harder, but at this point, nice! Good sound barrier. Really nice save. And at this point, they could go for the kill. Mark is low, though. Everybody's low. Galnagulnar is also in trouble, but he barely gets away as Lucio speeds everybody up and starts to move them out. Quest is completed for Thrall. 12 minutes and 30 seconds in. Nicely done. 22 stacks for Muradin, which means he has 110 damage now on those Storm Bolts. Bottom of the map is getting attacked, and this fort might actually fall if nobody deals with it. It's a race for the Immortal again. Max Payne is the only one fighting, but the rest of the team is moving in. And they should still be able to get a few hit points off, but obviously this time it's a victory for Nothing Left. Nice back and forth. So they take at least the health globes, make sure that nobody can grab those. Top lane is where the attack is headed. And now it's much easier for Thrall to poke, since he can just poke whatever. And is always getting the guaranteed damage in, even if the minion wave is around. Already we have a bit of a scout headed in. Bot lane is defended, which means that they can now easily rotate top, but Urel is still showing bottom side. Also, Thunder Strike on level 13, since there's no synergy with the healing static. He instead goes for the extra damage. The poke is there, but that one is a goner. Poryboss is trying to go in, but the sound barrier will be ready in another 5 seconds. That should help. Poryboss moves in, has the Triple Panda, but doesn't use it just yet. Nothing Left is still fighting for every inch of the map. They don't want to go down 0-2 in this best of 5. They want to make sure that it's an even playing field when they head into the third game. Starfall used for the additional zone out. 16 half a level away for Wind and Rain. We're seeing the team starting to move in again. Continuous poke, keep already under pressure, but they burn that Immortal down. And there's the shields from Tyrael. That definitely helping as well. Even in structures. Both teams losing their forts. 44,000 damage by now, by the way, for Thrall. So yes, after he completed the talent, it's like, oh boy, did he start to have a power spike. Holy hell. That's the beauty Beauty of Crash Lightning. But again, as much as I'm hyping that talent, it is a very, very situational one. It's either on Volskaya or Battlefield, and in each case, you still want to make sure that you are not the one that has to play on the solo lane, or you are going to be so late on the completion that you are not going to get a lot of value out of it. In this game, on the other hand, Skog from the get-go was incredibly diligent about getting those stacks in, and had also an easy time against the Panda in particular. So a super early completion for him. And that is going to add an incredible poke for them throughout the rest of the game now, that other heroes like Li Ming can capitalize on. So now we're having also the Thunderstorm on level 16 for him. That adds, of course, to the equation. Mirror Ball is in play, and a little bit of experience needed for level 16 to also be dropped by the blue team. The problem is that there's two camps at the top lane. Yeah, immediately Tyrael trying to shield those with his shields, and they're attempting to break through that wall. That's exactly what's happening here right now. Alright, Thrall again with a continuous poke. Gets another hit in against DAB here, obviously. He was attacking the wall there to get the additional bounces into the back line. 17 against 15. Second camp comes in. Immortal spawning another 10 seconds. And even more poke from the distance. But it's 16 versus 16. And the Dwarf goes for the jump. Dwarf launch being used here. Plus the Executioner again. And I have to point the synergy with Jaina out once more. The slow is there, and you pretty much have a 30% damage increase. Water Elemental being used. They're trying to rush away. Immortal zones them a little bit more. But they can easily walk out of this. Oh, that was a close call, though, as the Immortal Stun nearly connects with Thrall, but doesn't quite. In comes the Sanctification. Can use the Sound Barrier as well shortly after. That's exactly what happens, and the Panda's in trouble, but he's not the only one. Lulcio is already dead, but so is Greyman. That's a huge problem for nothing left. And Make is just getting reset after reset after reset. They're going in again. Tyrande is down. Skog has been poking throughout the entire fight, and Murden is the third one to die as Chen bites the dust too. A 1-4-4 trade, and they can go for the camp and for the Immortal now with ease. Jaina is trying to get some experience. Another wave pushed out at the bottom of the map, but that halftime show has already been reached. Thrall at this point, 55,000 damage for him and 44,000 for Jaina. Nobody even close to Thrall. Yep, that damage is coming through. And also damage at the top lane at this point. So that's not the lane that's going to be attacked by the Immortal. Actually, both of the lanes have already lost the wall, so there's nothing you can rely upon to really stop the Immortal. And that bad boy is going to have 100% shield. That bad boy has 100% shield right there. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, let's see how they plan on stopping this one, especially without a gate, without towers that can at least take some of the HP off. Murden with the 31 stacks that he has does some decent damage, and they're trying to get someone in here, but the Stormbolt doesn't connect, and now they're just moving out. They pressured it hard. They went forward. DAB is a little bit far out. The rest of the team already started to move back. Max Payne wants to jump in. They're trying to go for Poli Boss. He has another couple of seconds until the Pandas are ready again. 2 to be exact. But that should just be enough, and he doesn't even have to use it. Greymane is already the one defending, but there's the triple Pandas. They're trying to rush away. No risks taken. And Greymane is just chunking the shields down the entire time here. But it looks like the keep is going to fall no matter what. The Pandas still being attacked here, and they're starting to rotate topside now. In an ideal world, they want to end the game right now, and nothing left. They know it. Do they have something left here? That's the question. They're trying to throw everything against Wind and Rain and burn down the Immortal, and it looks like this might be a successful play. Unless they lose a hero now. That's, of course, the big question. Everybody poking from a distance, but there's no kill opportunity, and they're starting to move away from this. Lockdown, Ice Block, Li Ming trying to get Jaina dropped, but the Ice Block was good enough to dodge out all of the damage. And they're starting to go in again. The continuous poke on the retreat here. And being used by Urels. They're jumping in. They're starting to poke a little bit more. And Jaina goes down. Li Ming came in and got the kill. And that's the reset. Urel also falling. The Sanctification came in too late. But they're turning it around again. And the double, triple Wolf connect. As Thrall is making some plays. Running out of mana though. And he's not the only one. Everybody is starting to actually run a little bit low on the blue. Mark in particular needs quite a bit more of that. But they're close on level 20 right now. And they actually find Muradin again. And they go straight in for him. Nearly getting a kill there. Another combo being hit. Starfall. Well, there's also another stun connecting with Gulnar and Lucio, but he's speeding away. And during all of this, the bot lane has suffered a lot of damage as well. The catapults have zoned in on the keep. And, well, Polyboss on Chen has barely been able to defend it. Yeah, it's dicey. The 20 talents are there. And with 20s now being chosen, I mean, this is starting to get really problematic. The Earth and Shield alone is fantastic, and on top of that you have the Holy Arena, which is obviously immense as well. It's not only the duration increase that you have there, but also the damage increase too, especially for someone like Li Ming or Thrall at this point. In addition to that, we're having now the Bossa Nova taken right there, and the rotation to the bot lane. If they can force a fight now, that would be an absolute dream. Yeah, and there we go. Another camp taken. Full control of the map at this point. Still half a level away for level 20 for the Storm Talons on the blue team side. But after the halftime show, they should be able to fight. They should be able to get enough experience now. I mean, Jaina is already going topside to try and burn this down as quickly as she can. Jen is at the bottom of the map. But the halftime show would be a freebie, but they want more. They actually are trying to look for a couple of kills. There's the repulsion, and that should be the end of the AB. They're forcing the fight, and Chen isn't there yet. Chen isn't there yet, but Skog! Oh my god, he actually survives! What? Muradin wants to kill, Jaina's already dead, and Muradin is down. They get the double kill, and now they're gonna make the play for the core. And also, even if that fails, the bottom keep is going to fall thanks to this. But right now, they want to end the game, and they are moving in as we speak. There it is. No chance lands. The Holy Arena is still there. The explosion of Tyrael, as mentioned before, can take another 5% off the core with ease on its own. So this is going to be game number 2 for Wind and Rain. Yes, there it is. The Holy Arena gets dropped. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done by Wind and Rain as they take the 2-0 lead against the blue team. Nothing left. We'll have to try for a reverse sweep in this best of 5. Game number 3 could be the last one. Wind and Rain with a 2-0 lead over Nothing Left. Pretty impressive performance by them so far. Nothing Left had a few moments where they were starting to fight back into the game, but generally speaking, Wind and Rain have taken a clear lead now over their opponent. So, yeah. Tomb is a little bit different in the way that you can obviously quickly rotate between the lanes and put more pressure on there, especially now that we're having the 10% movement speed across the board. So that's one thing. I'm honestly a little bit curious to see how this is going to play out in terms of the draft, because yeah, there's the Tyrael ban. They learned a lesson. They learned it a little bit late, but the Tyrael ban is finally happening against Bergholt, but obviously that might have been something where they could have taken the lesson, or at least some advice from Washed Up, who did that from the get-go. So I would still expect that Tracer gets banned out against the AB, and yes, there we have that. My question is also Mephisto. Is he going to be banned out as well against Wind and Rain again? But generally speaking, I could see Rek'Sai again. Polyboss played it a lot also on this map, so Rek'Sai hasn't really made a big splash today, but he is in the meta, depending a lot on the map, and so far a lot of the maps haven't really catered to him too well. But yeah, now we have an opportunity to get the hero onto the bot lane. Malf gets banned out pretty quickly actually. So yeah. And well, it leaves us with Tyrande. Ana has more or less started to disappear a little bit after the changes. I mean, it was already annoying enough to heal your allies before they had a speed buff. So now it became a little bit more annoying on top of that. But normally it's the nano boost that you're really looking for. And at least yesterday we had quite a few Ana plays, honestly, to make sure that you get a nano boosted Li Ming, a nano boosted Jaina, for example. And there's the Vala ban again. Okay. So for our first pick, Chen, the Panda. The Panda pretty much wrecking Misha. It's a little bit of a sad day when Polyboss doesn't even consider to pick Rek'Sai anymore, but instead just simply goes for the Panda there. I just see Misha crying in the corner somewhere. ETC and Li Ming are getting picked. Okay. So with this, Tyrande would be a dream if you can get it, but I doubt it. Nothing Left are most likely going to lock Tyrande down right now. There's Johanna for the AoE, for Speedwagon. This time no Unubarak on the map. And Tyrande. No ETC power slide into a Tyrande stun. At least not in game number 3. But what are you going to do with the bans now? I mean, they can target DAB even more, I assume. And that's exactly what they do. There's another ban against Jaina. Okay, so they now banned 3 heroes that DAB would play. Greymane is still up, and now one question of course remains. Is Wind and Rain going to pick Greymane away, or are they absolutely okay if Blackidney goes in and takes Greymane for themselves again? I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind that this is going to happen again if they allow it. But Wind and Rain could pick the hero away quite easily. They still are looking, of course, for a second damage dealer. Yes, the Rexa ban, okay. So we don't get Rexa in this game. After Chen has been taken, Podibos is saying like, no, I'm not gonna go up against that bad boy. Which leaves us with Leo on the off lane. That would be a decent pick for them. Again, the quick rotations between 2 lanes and the wave clear that you have. The triple melee that Wind and Rain really prefers to play could also come out once more. There's Greymane. Greymane and Garrosh are being picked. Alright. And that leaves us with a final double pick on the side of nothing left. And the big question, what DAB is going to do now. We have Maiev. Still up. Heroes isn't quite played. The hero isn't quite play as much anymore as before. But Blackidney, generally speaking, usually makes it work and does a lot of damage with it. But I don't really see it fit this now. No. Chromie and Hanzo instead. Alright, so after Mene was successful with Chromie the other day, DAB wants to mirror that now and says like, you know what, I'm gonna go for the Sand Gnome as well and going to put the Herd in. Let's see if that pans out for them. And if Chromie can finally get a little bit of recognition there. But the last pick for Wind and Rain as we're heading into game number 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. What's it going to be? It is Rhaegar. Alright, the support is in and we are heading into game number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen between Wind and Rain and nothing left. Game number 3 in this 3rd place decider. Podibos for the blue team on Chen as they are struggling to find a map win in this best of 5 series at the Division S playoffs. Speedwagon on Johanna. We have Chromie on DAB, or DAB on Chromie. Blackidney on Hanzo and Linked on Tyrande. And on the right side of the map, Make. Again with Li Ming, we have Bakul and Garrosh. Was banned out a couple of times against him, but they decided that Tyrael is more of a threat when played by the frontliner of Wind and Rain. Galnagulna on Rhaegar, Skok on Greymane, and we have ETC, played by Max Passion. Chromie, as expected, once again the first time, is being used here at this point. And yeah. With this, what else do we have? We are currently looking... I mean, in terms of talents, nothing too insane. We have at least the Wolf Run on level 1, so in this case, no Totem focus on level 1 and level 16, which opens up a couple of different level 16 talents for them if they don't want to have the synergy. We're also seeing more of a focus into the cocktail build now with the perfect aim chosen on level 1. And yep, Skok is going to try and get the AoE value through with that. The Eye of the Tiger on level 1 for Chen, and already we're seeing Johanna moving out with the Iron Skin. That's going to be her bread and butter throughout this entire setup. Johanna's a pretty good hero to play into Garrosh because, first of all, you can deny the throw in the first place with your Iron Skin, but even if you get flipped over, you can just simply walk out again by using the Iron Skin and then retreating. We have Hold Your Ground taken at this point. And at the bot lane, it's ETC against Podibos. So ETC can obviously interrupt quite a bit of the drinking with either the power slide or just pushing him back through the face melt. But it's going to be the team fights later on where we have ETC also with the power slide stuns. That is going to be really troublesome. In the early game, Chen is going to do well on the bot lane. It's just about the team fight value where ETC is most likely going to be a little bit more successful. Obviously, in the last game, we've seen that sound barrier attempt from Lucio against the Panda, and it worked out in the end. But in this case, we're going for a different approach with Rhaegar, who has more AoE and also helps them to take a couple of camps there, thanks to the Lightning Shield. Chromie a little bit late on the level 4 talent, so DAB hasn't really made a decision here. He's currently waiting this out, and it's just firing away. There we have it. Time troubles are taken again. Pretty much the standard talent that we've seen so far. And there's a massive push through the middle. That's really working out for them. But, as I say, Greymane goes down. Now, they dropped the turret and they're nearly dropping the wall there too. So it's not like they didn't get anything out of that. But, yep, we have already a few gems turned in from the blue team. They're a little bit more diligent about saving those. Level 4 talent on both sides, which gives us the dominance again for Make. And his Li Ming play in the last game was honestly pretty stellar. I mean, yes, Thrall with the Crash Lightning build took the main damage. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, Li Ming was starting to really close in. And he got a couple of really cool kills there with flank attempts where he got the entire combo through. Level 4 now taken for both, but down here we already have the attempt to go for the Siege Giant camp. Boss finds himself in trouble. Max Payne is going to slide through, tries to go for Linked here instead as they're starting to struggle against the Panda, and that's a quick kill against Tyrande as we have the first kill for the red team coming in. Level 7 now for Chromie. Gets it obviously a little bit earlier. The Sand Gnome and the little attempt at cheating here at the game. 17 stacks for her on the level 1. Bot lane pressure. Max Payne has to dodge out on all of this, but ETC, thanks to the help that he's getting here, is doing fairly well. And damn son, that was a nice power slide. Perfect throw from the front line. Bakul delivers the kill right into their hands. And with 2 kills against 1 and the Panda down, they can easily go for the Siege Giants as well. Good start for Wind and Rain. Some honest pressure that we're seeing from them. We also have some in the middle of the map as Make is struggling, but he still has the cooldown on the fountain up, so that helps him quite a bit at that. And with this, we're now having at the top side, Speedwagon pushing everything out as much as he can thanks to his Condemn. A little bit more damage coming through. The thing with Chromie is really that so far we've pretty much only seen Mena win with Chromie in Division S. Her damage is never really too bad. Like, no matter how the game ends, Chromie usually has a huge amount of damage output. The problem is that oftentimes it's just her inability to secure a kill these days that is a bit troublesome. So she can poke, but she oftentimes just doesn't end up get the kill. And if you don't have a finisher, then the supports are just going to do their job and going to heal everybody up. This could be another game where Chromie is successful, but we have to wait and see. Yesterday we saw Mena play the hero once on this map, and they did extremely well with it. 7 is now ready for both sides, which also gives us the cleanse, and thanks to the web weavers that they just put into play, they are starting to pressure through the bot lane to at least drop the fountain here. Well, that's the attempt, and that should also happen. Yep, fountain is about to fall, and they're trying to get a little bit more with Make rotating between 2 lanes. It's a 5 versus 4 at the bottom of the map, and Make is just simply running from the middle to the top and trying to make sure that the forts are taking even more damage, and the one in the middle certainly did. The one at the top is also starting to struggle, and Make could try and take down the fountain, because on both of the remaining lanes, that fountain has already been eliminated, and that's a big deal. I mean, we talked about this over and over. If you take that sustain from some of your opponents away, you have a great chance of just controlling the middle of the map, and that's where the objective is located. So this is a fort. Guys, this is insane value for the first turn-in. This is honestly a little bit crazy. They just dropped the fort. They nearly killed the one in the middle. They're getting potentially get another. Oh my god, they get a. Oh my god! Jesus, can you just stop for a second? They're already on the ground. Stop kicking them. Holy shit. Triple kill to boot. Guys, they are 1.5 levels ahead pretty much. They dropped the fort at the top lane. They eliminated every single fountain on the front. They broke through every wall. They nearly took the fort in the middle down. And at the bottom of the map, they've also dropped most of it. A triple kill just on the back of the fight. And now they get a free boss too with level 10s coming up. What? This is not starting to get nasty. This is nasty. And Max Payne is just going to play Juke Master again and is going to move away from this. Bakul says, oh, you know what we would really like to have? Another kill. Let's go for Blake Kidney. And is anybody doubting that he is going to fall? Yeah, he might delay it a little bit, but not for long. And Li Ming is already at the top side. I think Make has a hot date or something. He's just saying, boys, can we please speed this up a little bit? I need to be out there in half an hour. I have half an hour, guys. Let's go. Have you seen the pictures? And apparently, whatever he's telling his team, it seems to be working. I mean, yep, there's the level 11. They have a 2-level lead, and they are just killing it. ETC has a stage dive, but he's not even needed. Skog finally dies. Thank God. At least there's someone falling. But, yep, this is just too much there. So now we have 7 kills against 2, and this is a bit of a disaster. The web weavers that have been pushed through from nothing left at least give them a little bit of value here. But, yeah, in the mid lane, maybe they can take a few structures. They have to rotate over and defend those now, but holy hell, that early game. Whew. Let's see what Nothing Left can do. They have level 10 now. This might be the time where they can start to turn this around. Yep, there's the arrow. It's right there. And there's the fight. The bot lane, on the other hand, is completely ignored at this point. Yeah, with them retreating and the web weavers being pushed in, they couldn't really defend against them yet. So honestly, these web weavers are getting way more value than they should. This honestly gets way more value than I expected it to get. There's a huge amount of gems now in the hands of Granite Gaming, at least. Granite Gaming. Wind and Rain. And yeah, they have 79, so they can get another turn in easy peasy. They're still 2 levels ahead, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, top side, Greymane getting a little bit more, putting that AoE to the test. Went also into the cocktail on level 7, has 12 stacks now, so he's soon going to complete that. Cooldown reduction is going to be pretty amazing on that. Poke, 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 poke. Entire game. Turns Greymane into Pocahontas. Maybe not as pretty, but about as effectful. So, again, the taunt comes in. Back ult gets the Ancestral as well, and Greymane is able to complete his quest. Li Ming goes down, though. Yeah, the revenge of Chromie. The Sand Gnome is starting to get a little bit nasty here. The quest is also completed, obviously, for Nothing Left's Chromester. So with this, we're now having the double Sand Echo here. And DAB is trying to get the damage out. Talking damage, let's have a look at it. Currently looking at 24,000 over here for Greymane and 27,000 at this point for Chromie. So, yeah, definitely getting some in. Backhold again with another throw. Speedwagon still had the trade active. And there's another one. In we go. Speedwagon's attacked. The arrow hits full force. And they're going for the blaze. Boss himself in trouble. Boss, the panda. The panda. And he's down. The panda down, and so is Johanna. Double kill. 13 on the board. That gave them the power spike that they needed. They still have the turn-ins. By the way, they pretty much have a double turn-in. Not quite yet, but if they turn in now and get the web weavers, just them pushing through the lanes and grabbing a few additional gems will give them enough to turn in immediately afterwards if they want to. So now we're having another attempt to take the camp away. They could actually take this one. But they're letting it slide. They're letting it leech, apparently. Alright, yep, and it disappears. Alrighty, so camp leashes and therefore disappears. They still have a 2-level lead. The stats advantage is solid. And now ETC is at the top lane, 38 gems, so you gotta be a little bit careful, but this is exactly what I said. They're gonna get even more gems. And nobody's topside. They're all fighting in the middle here. Why is nobody taking care of the top lane? That's a keep that's gonna be attacked there, boys. The bottom fort is falling 100%. Blake Kidney gets taunted and goes down. And now they're slowly starting to rotate to the top, but all of the forts are now about to be destroyed. And there's another push coming straight for the keep in the middle. But this is looking a little bit disastrous, honestly, for Nothing Left. I mean, holy hell, 10 kills against 3, and they are getting murdered. 10-minute keep on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And it might not be the only one that falls. There's another attack happening in the middle right now. And let's not forget about that second turn-in that they'll have after this one is over with. Look at the experience alone. They have nearly level 16. They're half a level away from it. Bottom Web Weaver's also doing some damage. Finally, the 13 is in play. But yep, that keep is taking even more damage, and now Wind and Rain can just move back. That needs a temporal loop, but that doesn't do anything either. The bot lane is getting broken through as well. The fight is starting up over here. The Ancestral is keeping Backhold alive on his Garrosh. And it is a tough day for Nothing Left. No, that's not looking pretty. They can't get a kill right now. They can maybe chase, and that's what currently Pandapoi is going to do. As the jump away, ETC comes in. They're going once more for Backhold. There's the taunt. There's the action. 16 not there yet. And Li Ming again with the ult to push them out successfully, I might add. Yeah, they're trying to chase this. But guys, in the meantime, look at that bot lane. 16 is there. They have the massive lead right now. And that bot lane keep is going to fall as well. And if not, it's going to be incredibly close. Is someone going to come in and take that? Ooh, maybe. No. Nope, that is down to double keep down, and guess what's getting attacked next with a 3-level advantage and the level 16 talent? Boss time, baby! And we also have enough gems for a quick turn-in. And yeah, guess what Max Payne is doing. 41 on him alone. That's the turn in, and we're gonna have the rest of the team turn in soon as well. They're gonna go for game. They're gonna go for game right now. The owl comes in. There's a temporal loop. Yeah, but that didn't connect, and the red web weavers are coming in. The boss is already on the way to the core, by the way, and they're going for Potoboss right now. There's another power slide. The 16 talents give them a huge spike. They still have a 2-level lead, which means additional stat bonuses for them. Make was nearly taken down, but without the kill against Li Ming. Oh, wow, that arrow actually connected. That could be a kill. They're still all moving away from this, which by itself isn't really that bad. The problem is that in the meantime, the web weavers are still going to push, and the core is already losing its shield because the boss is doing work over there. And yeah, that's an early boss, so he's maybe not going to take the core down completely, but this is going to change it. And now we're having also the push through the bot lane. So there's still a couple of heroes around. ETC just power slides behind them, slides in, and after the stage dive, they're gonna go for the kills here. And the first one to fall is probably gonna be Johanna, and then Blakidney is going to die as well. Jojo is down, the core is at 26%. The boss is still hammering away against it. 23, they're trying to take the web weaver down. We're looking at 19, 15%, and this, ladies, is game. 3-0 for Wind and Rain. They claim 3rd place in the Division S playoffs. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.